We're only 6 days later than we should be,
I know.
rather than 7.
Aye, look where I am, back home. Yay! Day off. Not fucking working for a change. But no, got a day off and back home.
We've got Carl, the whiskey companion, again with us. It's a long time since we've had him in, Marty.
It seems as if it's ages. And to be honest, I'm in dire need of him because I've actually took my eye off the ball. I've no idea about prices or anything like that because I haven't really been checking. Just too busy. I think I've missed a few things, but well, I probably missed more than I thought. But you'll enlighten us with the whole thing later on, Carl. Yes,
absolutely.
How have you been?
I've been well. Yeah, I've been busy myself now, just with summer work, everything like that. So,
well,
it's good to catch up and see what you've been up to.
You're going to talk about this, aren't you?
I am indeed. Yeah, I have one myself, just over there.
Well, I'm just going to bottle kill this. I was up with these guys the other day, and they've got their stills in. The stills are they're not being commissioned; they're just being set in. Forsyths are busy piping them up and so on. But it's all beginning to take a bit more shape. The stills are there. The pipe work's getting sorted out, and the way they're going to do it. If anyone who's ever been in the pump house before, they're putting in a glass floor because it's just weird because they're basically not allowed to drill a hole in the wall because there's so many preservation orders and listed building statuses and so on it. So everything's just.
Mad, yeah.
I think they took plaster off the wall and have to be very careful how they replace it and all this kind of stuff.
All bureaucracy.
Well, the thing is, it's okay listing buildings and protecting them, but what are you going to do? Just let them all rot into the ground? They have
need a plan in place.
So yeah, everything all sort of boarded out to make sure you don't actually change the structure, but no, they're doing it. They're doing a hell of a job. And the stills, as I say, were delivered on Wednesday, I think it was. But yeah, so it's all going good.
Well, a couple of people are asking us what we're tasting tonight.
Well, I'm on. Just killing off this bottle. This is GND. We all know it's from the Great Northern, but this is actually very well produced. It's very, it's got a nice balance to it. It's actually well crafted, and there's that nice little element of peat to it. Nice tiny little bit of smoke. Just a wee sort of in the background, which adds a nice layer to it.
Lovely stuff. Remember to comment, like, and share if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, and Telegram. Hit subscribe on YouTube. It helps us help you. Carl from the Whiskey Companion joins us tonight, and you're going to disappear off into the other while we do the news, Carl, aren't you?
I am indeed. I'm going to decide on my own little dram whether it's
excellent
14-year-old Tullamore Dew or Glenfarclas 60% cask strength.
Go for both. One for one hand and one for the other.
Aye, that's it. Talk to me, man.
Okay.
Aye. Now, Justin, it's nice to be home. Now, you're going to just go straight into the news because we've been at war with. I'm not allowed to swear, am I? Not that you can tell me off for swearing.
No.
We're not allowed to play our jingle because we keep getting pulled every single week these days. Sony put out a thing and Facebook block us and threaten us and blah blah blah, and then we appeal it. And what happens? Oh no,
they go. That's fine.
Oh, that's fine. On you go.
The impetus has been lost.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they do it every week. It's some little piece of programming script that keeps messing about with us, and so we can't play the jingle, even though it's generic music. It's Justin picked this off a free music. What was it? It was a video editing thing or something, wasn't it?
iMovie. It's iMovie. So Apple have paid for everywhere for the globe, and somebody must have used it in the TV show because Carl says he reckons he heard it in the TV show. Somebody's using the TV show, but it's generic, and they don't have first dibs on it. Basically, anybody can use it anytime, but they get stroppy about it. So we can't
use it. So we're just going straight in. We go straight on to the news now. Whiskey investments. There's just more and more money being pumped into the whiskey, and not just Irish whiskey, but we have Dr. John Teeling here, one of I still rate the saviour of Irish whiskey, if I'm honest. his vision of the whole thing was superb a number of years ago. So they've announced €25 million investment to double production because they're supplying third parties, and they're going to double their production, which is a massive move of confidence. So yeah, really, really good.
Dublin production.
Right.
Are they not one of the biggest in Ireland already?
Oh well, they're massive, but they can't keep up. They just keep pumping stuff out. I mean, this is GND. There's loads of GND products out there, and that's what their business model is, and that's what they've been doing. So yeah, good on them. The McConnells, they're investing £22 million into the Crumlin Road jail. So it's nice to see that that's moving forward again. This announcement is on the Department of the Economy for Northern Ireland. Is it the Minister for the Economy? Was she there? Was she? I think she was. She there's a freebie, I suppose they'll go. They'll hardly do any work, even though they're getting paid for it. They're getting paid to do a job they don't do. But whenever there's a freebie, they'll go, no problem at all. So yeah. Anyway, I'm not allowed to swear about them either. Yeah, this is you. I should be allowed to swear. I should be allowed to at least swear. Anyway, so then the Dalriada Distillery over in Campbelltown, moving forward with that. Penderyn, Welsh whiskey. Good old Penderyn. They are opening their third distillery. Their third unit. It's going to be in Swansea. Now, they've already had one in the Brecon Beacons. They've one in Clondudno. And now they're moving on to having a third one in Swansea.
Does that affect the terroir of it then?
They're not worrying too much about terroirs. It's Welsh, and they're quite staunchly Welsh, proudly Welsh, and keeping up that. Now, apparently, the one in Swansea is part of some £1 billion rejuvenation program for Swansea. So they've got a hell of a grant, I would assume. You know, somebody's probably given them a hell of a lot of money to open one. They thought, why look with gift horse in the mouth. Good quality whiskey, well crafted, and very Welsh with the absolutely amazing Dylan Thomas bottling I have here.
Well, it's good. It's good for the brand, because if you're relying heavily on tourism, there's only so many people can come to your one location, but if you've got three, you can maybe get to 2 or 3 times as many people into your products. It seems like a good idea to me, especially if you're getting a decent enough grant to go. You know, if somebody's offering you half roads to a free distillery, it seems a bit of a don't look a gift horse in the mouth, you know. I know. Well, listen, we're in the middle of the news, but better give this a mention this week as well. Richie Zed is asking us, are we on Instagram? We are. Irish Whiskey Review on Instagram. Yeah, yes. Dead easy to find. We don't transmit live on Instagram now because they did away with TV, so we can't put the full show out on Instagram. It would have to be a cut down version. And Frank Hearn is saying, evening, ladies and gentlemen. He must be talking about you. Just finished my research for a wee trip to World War I battlefields in France and Belgium, and enjoying a wee short cross with my pour tonight.
Excellent. And I haven't been over to Flanders since 2017, but I'll maybe try and get you on over next year.
2017. Of course, the last time I was in the battlefield was 1997. There's Big JJ. Big JJ, please drop us a line. Go on Facebook, hit the thing messenger, and drop us a line. Is there 1 or 2 tickets left, or is there any tickets left for the trip to Islay?
There's people pending. There's a few people who've told me, keep me a seat. But if we don't hurry up and pay, it's gone. So yeah, unfortunately. So if you want to go, give us to get the money in. I'll say
Big JJ, hit us up. You need the messages directly on Facebook, okay? James and Doherty's watching tonight, and let me see. Richie Zed's asking, Big JJ, is that the new Glendalough?
Is that new? The Mezzanara cask, that's been a while now.
Yeah.
With Tony
Sillett.
I see someone saying about my Cologne t-shirt. Yeah, well, I don't think they adjust in size.
No, they do. I have one, but again, oh yes, a Steckling boy. Tony saw this after the Aber Falls and the Welsh Wind and others. The Welsh history scene is growing, if very slowly. Yep, it is.
Tony, it's grown. It's started from nothing, so you have to say it's grown. And Pindaron's leading the way, and they do make a great spirit. They really do. There's no two ways about that.
Declan, I think I've done the show with that T-shirt on.
Did you?
I think I have. Yeah, there was one of my. He had to search high and low like AHA to find it, but he did find one. He did find one.
Justin's got an unusual body shape.
I'm a fat bastard.
I come you're already swearing I'm not. I got
No, I'm talking about a character in a Austin Powers movie. Nice. I'll follow. Yes, follow us, Irish Whiskey Review. Boys, good evening. Jody Burke saying hello. Good from Prince Edward Islands. Jackie saying hello. What's James saying about the Aber Falls? He's saying the first release Aber Falls very collector and taste lovely.
I have the very first release from Pindaron. I have the wooden box one, the sort of decanter shaped bottle. I have it. But I've never opened it because it's collectible, James. But I have it. I have it upstairs, downstairs, somewhere anyway. Don't have it. But the other one, Chivas Brothers, they're announcing that they're opening another distillery in Milton Duff up near Elgin. So all of this investment, there's hundreds of millions going into whiskey investment at the minute in the UK and Ireland. So yeah, great stuff.
Right. She was. Do they traditionally sort of distill in the Scottish Islands? Then do they?
They're massive brand, Justin. They're huge. So yeah,
right.
they're opening another distillery. They do lots of blends and so on. So yeah, they are going to be firing more stuff out.
Mm-hmm. There's Richie's head. It says, "Have the 13-year-old Glendalough, but not the 7."
Get on the Irish whiskey auctions. They'll sort you out one. There'll bound to be one popping up. And Carl will give you a good price for them. He'll tell you what they're supposed to be.
Check out the whiskey card. Let me see. What's this here? Sarah Fee. I don't remember this. Sarah Fee says, "Good evening from Sarah in Fermanagh. Still broken finger and thumb here, but getting better. Post Isla details again, please, perhaps." Well, we don't post them because we'll end up having a flotilla of ships going, and we only want one boat to go. We only want to fill one boat.
The trip will be leaving Ballycastle at 10 a.m. in the morning. We'll get to Isla for about 11:30. I still haven't sorted out what we're doing whenever we get there, but we'll get something sorted out. And then we'll do distillery or whiskey tastings and so on. Whiskey on the way across, whiskey while we're there, whiskey on the way back. And we'll be back at Ballycastle for about 6 o'clock that day. Okay, cost will be £170. First come, first served. So there are a few people have already paid. So there's some seats, and there's other people who said, "Oh, keep my seat." If they don't get paid very, very shortly, we'll not be keeping no more seats. Okay. There's a couple of people, but there are a couple of people you really want to spend a bit of time with going that have already paid. Saturday, the 1st of October, so it's still a few weeks away. It's still 5 or 6 weeks away, isn't it? So listen, get in touch with us. Go on Facebook where it says send message. It's somewhere over here on Facebook, send message. And you can send us a message, right? Either Marty or me read it, and then probably Marty will be in touch at some point, okay? And there, listen, are we on Facebook Live simultaneous? Okay, so this goes out simultaneously everywhere. Okay, Richie, so, please, Justin,
don't ask questions. Watch it on YouTube. It's the best place to watch it. We're on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Telegram. We're on Twitch. We're even on Twitter as well. But listen, head us up there. We don't do Instagram because Instagram did away with the TV, so we can't do it. So that's the problem.
Aye, no, that's can't do everything. Right, we're going to push on because Carlos is going to be sitting here. Environmental news. The SNP and the Green Party in Scotland have launched a paper, a plan, or whatever to investigate the environmental impact of the Angel share. Now, angel share, if anybody doesn't know, is the evaporation from the cask that goes into the ether, if you like. Now, the problem is no one's ever really done an investigation to see how environmentally damaging it is. So it's probably a bit overdue. The amount of evaporation that they want to measure is for non-methane volatile organic compounds, which is a real sort of snappy title.
Do you not think they just want to put a Scotch bonnet on it and get more for themselves and less for the angels?
Well, you see, this is the thing. But I mean, the evaporation is actually part of the process, and if you do try and limit that, does it affect it? I don't know, but I think it's probably reasonable enough to actually do a study and find out, because these non-methane volatile organic compounds, the angel share in Scotland accounts for 50% of these, so very near it. So it's probably not a bad idea to do a check on it, So good on them. But the Jackson Distillery has actually joined the what's called a green portfolio of businesses, which, because they want to be carbon neutral. Now we have the what do you call it? The distillery isn't built yet, but what they're going to be making is green neutral spirit, low methanol, green neutral spirit for use in all white spirit drinks. The GNS will also be used fully traceable Scottish cereals, ideal for growing the Scottish gin market. But they're going to be producing stuff for whiskey as well, green whiskey for blending purposes. They're looking at investment. It's going to be a big operation, but the thing that they're going to be doing is supplying green whiskey for blends. The distillery is going to be but this will enable us to offer spirit produced from rye, oats, or other grains, and will be certified to produce organic and kosher spirits, and is independent and flexible to produce for customer demands. So no, good on them. So again, it's
that's a big investment. That
they're still looking at investors. What they probably need to do is get James Doherty over and say we'll do a crowdfunding, and then they'll get about three times what they're asking for. They'll be able to build a massive, huge plant, half the size of Glasgow. But no, so that's it's all part of the environmental aspects, and it's I think it's what's kind of called for moving forward. I noticed there was a bit of a backlash against the Scottish government doing a check on this. People saying, it's ridiculous, it's heavy-handed on the Scottish history. I think all of this needs to be investigated these days. I think there's been enough environmental damage done without people really noticing. For years we're putting lead and petrol, poisoning everybody. So yeah, I think as much research is probably there. No.
There's Richie said he's asking a technical question. A lot of Irish are pot stilled. Yes, pot still. Only Irish whiskies are pot stilled.
No, Justin. Only Irish pot still whiskey is Irish. It's Irish pot still whiskey has to be made in Ireland, but there's loads of other places making a version of pot still whiskies. But it's Irish pot still whiskey has to be made in Ireland. But a lot of Irish pot stills are pot still distilled, or they're non-pot stills. Single grain stuffs. All Irish blends have to have Irish grain whiskey in them, otherwise you can't really be Irish. So so there's lots of them. Anyway,
So what's in the stout class? John Fleming's asking because he came in late tonight.
Oh, it's Guinness. It's just Guinness. This is my little something to keep my throat lubricated. This is what we are dining out on, if you know what I mean.
Good. What's next tonight? We still have to run through a few news stories before joining Carl at the Whiskey Companion.
Well, there is. Where are we? Oh, wrong one. Johnny Walker is giving away, in conjunction with these guys, the app Dusk, 270,000 whiskies. 270,000 drinks, sorry. It's in partnership with this app Dusk. And it's Johnny Walker and Lemonade, apparently. And the whole aim is to try and push £4 million through to pubs and wherever it is these things are available. I haven't downloaded it. I'm just actually downloading the app as we speak, and I'm sure I probably have to do go through some verification stuff or whatever. But apparently, it's all link your card and collect rewards when you spend in pubs. Find the hottest bars and offers near you. Use dust points to redeem the top awards. It's all this kind of stuff, so it's kind of like a customer loyalty card for drinks. So if they're giving away free booze, happy days. So you might want to
check that one out. Yeah,
check that out. So that's Dusk. And if they're partnered up with Johnny Walker, they must obviously be being taken seriously. So yeah.
I think it's just for Apple at the minute, but isn't it?
Oh no, I'm not Justin, I don't do Apple on the thing.
You're Android.
Android.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so get onto it and have a look, and you get a couple of free drinks maybe out of it. Speaking of freebies, competition and Belfast Live to win a tasting box, a tasting kit worth £150 from Bushmills, the Causeway Collection. Because the Causeway Collection number 3 is being released. So if you go on to Belfast Live, there you see Alex Thomas with holding up a glass, and the obligatory whiskey pose that everybody has to do. Let's look meaningfully at a glass of whiskey as if, oh, look at this lovely whiskey. So you can get that if you scroll down a wee bit on that, Justin, and see how you enter the competition. Yeah, one down, just one down. Yeah. So basically, you enter the competition there. Where is the old Bushmills distillery? Is it in Antrim, Armagh, or Antarctica? Do you know the answer to that one, Justin?
I think it begins with Antarctica. Antarctica, yes.
Aye.
Yeah, because you put ice in it, so it must be Antarctica.
Must very much be. So anyway, that's how you enter the competition. So go on that and enter it, and you have a chance of winning the two of the Causeway samples, I think it is. I'm not really sure what's in the box. I can't remember. But you can pre-order the 2 Irish bottles for the Causeway Collection. So it's a 2012 Pomerol wine cask finished, 54.2%. And it's going to be selling for £95, which seems pretty good value for me. Cask strength collectible whiskey for 95 quid. It seems reasonable enough. The next one's a 2002 Vermouth finished at 48.2%, and it's £225 a bottle, which seems a little pricey. I don't know, maybe maybe it's not, but it seems a little pricey to me for that. But I don't have any numbers of how many there is up, but you can pre-order them if you are interested on some sites.
Yeah, they are. They're just the normal new bottles, basically, aren't they? Although I always wonder about the fill line in those bottles. It's very hard to tell if it's fill or not. The shape of those modern bottles,
Now, two other quick stories. Number one, Jameson is moving the Bow Street Distillery tour to Hudson's Yard in New York. I don't think they're moving it. I think it's just a carbon copy. That's not really how the thing's being portrayed. Now, it's going to run from the 26th of August to the 7th of September, and you can go and get some drinks and a bit of a tour. And it's basically just replicating the Bow Street tour, which is lots of people go on this and they think, oh, this is where they do all the distilling. It's not. There's no distilling goes on in there anymore. It's all done in Middleton. They have aged some whiskey there, but they don't actually do any distilling there. So you can go and see Gareth Buckley doing some coopery demos and all that kind of stuff. So if you're in New York, you might want to check that out. Well worth checking out if you've never been to the one in Dublin. So yeah,
and also it's quite near where the High Line is. If you want to go and do them both in one day, the High Line is just near it. It's an old L railway, which is sure,
it's only a few blocks away from the Empire State Building.
Yeah. Well,
So if you can't find Hudson's Yard, what you could do is go up the Empire State Building, have a look around, see if you can find it that way, and that would be a good idea. Wouldn't it, Justin? A good way. You can go, well, that's where I have to go over there.
I tell you what, it's an inspired idea. That isn't it?
Not for wearing a hat on, Justin. That's not for wearing a hat on.
It's an inspired idea, but isn't it?
Oh no, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a nice promotional thing. And last but not least, I saw this, and I kind of like these things when they're a bit of fun. Smokehead is an Islay. They don't tell you where it's from, but it's an Islay whiskey that's Islay Distillery, if you know what I mean. It's not one of the distilleries, but it's an Islay whiskey that these guys independently bought, and they've converted a Ducati into a smoker barbecue thing, which I think looks pretty cool. So hit the YouTube, Justin.
Customer warning that this may be incredibly loud because I can't control the volume anymore. But here we go.
When you're on a bike, it's different for everybody. But for me, at this point in my life, not only when I'm at work and I like problem solving and building and making things, but when I'm riding, it's about the isolation for me and the quietness. I don't listen to music in my helmet. I like to just collect my thoughts, and everything is really clear when I'm on a bike, and I just feel normal. There was a kid down the street from where I grew up that had a dirt bike, and he let me ride it a few times in the grassy fields. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing feeling. It's sort of like, I can't believe they let you do this. Like, is this really something that is allowed? Because it's incredible to be able to lean into a turn or feel so lightweight and get such speed and acceleration from something that is like an extension of your body, If someone comes to you and they really want to make something that nobody else has, it's kind of like when you go to a tattoo artist, they'll say, oh, I've got this picture, but I want it to be different. You know what I mean? So when you start a project, you don't really know what it will look like in the very end. I have a few ideas that will make this bike, which is a Ducati donor, into something that I haven't seen before. I mean, it won't be very easy, but it's a good opportunity to make something that's very different, and even to motorcycle people go, wow. Whatever you're riding, there'll always be like people who are like, that's amazing, or that's really, I can't believe you're on that, it's so obnoxious. But that separation is what makes people feel a belonging, which is important. Whether it's whiskey you're talking about, or a motorcycle, or like the way you dress, whatever it is, a lot of people find their individuality through extremes. Motorcyclists have an identity. They feel independent and different from other people. And so when you find something you like, a really smoky, outrageous whiskey that other people cringe at, it kind of gives you a sense of belonging when you can say, yeah, well, it works for me. I don't care if it doesn't work for you. Yeah, I'm really excited to move forward with it and, create something that I haven't seen before or anybody else. That's the beginning of it. The rest is in England and other shops, and some of it's, in the mail. Most of it's in here.
Wow.
Hi. I wasn't the one I meant to send you. Hey, don't look at me like that. We'll get the other one. We'll get the other one later on. I do apologise. Okay. Because he's done the bike. No. Anyway. All right. No. Anyway. Oops. All right. This is what happens when you go live.
Just blame me for playing the wrong one. There you go.
I do blame you, of course. Right. Justin's fault. Am I pointing the right way? I'm pointing the right way. That's it. Excellent.
Yes.
Bring Carlo. Cover over the gaps here, Dustin. We'll put
here he is. Here he
the
is.
Shawshank Redemption.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. He's in the room. Oh boy!
That's an interesting video.
Hi. How's that for, buddy?
Good. Yeah. No, it's good. I'm drinking the Glenfarclas now. 60%.
That's the one I would. That's definitely the one I'd have went with. You know, do you remember a few weeks ago I done the thing where I said I wasn't going to buy any more whiskey? Well, it's kind of bankrupting me because I lied. So I bought this. I haven't opened this yet, but I bought a Mortlach 15.
Oh, lovely.
Gordon McPhail Mortlach 15. I haven't opened that yet, but it's going to be lovely. I know it is. And then we have this one, which we opened the other
Fabled
day.
Gold Spot. Yeah.
Ta-da!
What do you make of it?
It's nice. It is nice.
Yeah.
It does need a wee touch of water.
Even Justin has his own.
Yeah,
That's how you know it's a good whiskey. When Justin
it is a good whiskey. Justin will never open it because he's too tight. You're going to tell us how much it's going to be worth at auction.
Very, very true. Did you get it at retail at least, Justin? Did you?
Of course he did. Of course he did.
At least one. At least one.
Good.
So, Carl, what has been going on? Because I've been very much remiss in the whole whiskey auction scene because, I've just been busy. So what's been going on?
Yeah, I mean, like usually over the summer, it's usually quite quiet, and there's a lot of bargains to be had. You know, you can pick up cheap whiskey, and that just wasn't the case this summer. Like there was, everything just kind of, there was a little bit of a plateau, and I mean, like Middleton in general has very much plateaued. Like it kind of dipped in the end of May, start of June, and then recovered straight away in July. And I mean, like the Middleton Very Rare 2014, for example, is up 10% this month on last month.
It's up 10%.
Yeah. So I mean, like it's sitting at about 1350, 1400 euro a bottle. Like I said, the 2022 Middleton Very Rare, you know, you'd be lucky to pick that up for 230 on an auction site now, which is, you know, 15% above retail. And there's still another. There's another release coming. You know, we always hear it, but I think a lot of people don't get to see it. So that'll be interesting. And then like the 2021 is actually going for less than the 2022, which I found interesting. So yeah, like it's been a mixed bag of things really. But there have been some eye-watering stuff that I've picked out.
Right, well, fill us in. Start with the first one. What's up? Eye-watering, because I'm eye-watering because I sort of choked a wee bit. I think it's live under my throat.
You've been off the whiskey too long, you know.
I know. This is the problem, Carl. You know.
So the first one that I sent on to Justin was the Jameson 12-year-old Distillery edition. So this is the Distillery exclusive that Jameson brought out, and they had it in the Bow Street Distillery, and they had it in Middleton Distillery. The Middleton Distillery came in a green box, and this one is from the Bow Street Distillery in a brown box.
Yeah.
And this was brought out, I think it was 2012, 2013, and it was there until about 2017, 2018, when they discontinued it. And I have to say, like I bought many of these bottles because it was a good alternative to the Jameson 12-year-old. It was 65 euro retail, and as you can see from the graph there, from the app, it's reached peaks once before. It was 390. That was back in March, and other than that, it was kind of sitting around the 100 mark, and even as early as last month, it was under 100 euro that you could pick it up. And for some reason, unbeknownst to anyone, it went for 500 euro on this latest Irish whiskey auctions.
I mean, Jameson of it. There's Jameson and then everything else. Let's be honest. Jameson is just streets ahead of everything else in terms of sales. But is Jameson actually all that collectible? You know, I mean,
like it is to a certain extent. So it has the name, and you know, a name goes a long way.
Yeah, of course.
And collectability.
So listen, Carl, if it's not that collectible, should I just divest of mine now rather than keeping it, or is it going to go up even more?
So it's a double-edged sword when things like this happen. So you see something and it goes for mad money, and definitely the next auction there's going to be at least 2, if not 3 or 4 of these going to be in that auction. So
But the thing is, then whenever there's 3 or 4, people go, "Oh, they'll buy this," and then it sort of deflates the price a little bit because there's more of them. But then people go, "I better buy these before they go stratospheric." And
exactly.
so it's hard to know. I mean, it's really sort of complicated.
Yeah. It is, and like when people ask me this, the thing that I say and that kind of resonates with people the most is the person who wanted this and was willing to pay €500 is now out of the market. They're not going to be in the market for another one for €500.
The boy who bid against him, the guy who was bidding up, he was up to 480 or whatever it was, and then they balled out. He's still about, but
he's still about. But who else is about that was an underbidder to him, and how high were they going? So,
exactly.
It is a very complicated scenario, but
it's just hard to know. I mean, these days, who knows what the hell's going to go be the next one? I mean,
it is. It's crazy.
It's kind of crazy, I mean, the Bushmills Causeway collection. I mean, people have been crying out for cask strength Bushmills for years, and they're bringing out these sort of, and they are very well presented, nice bottles, but they're not really setting the world on fire. They're not. There's a couple of bottles that kind of do, and people go, "Oh, I really, really want this for a collection," but loads of the other stuff, it's not really setting the world on fire, which is a bit of a shame, really, I think.
It is, and yeah, like with Causeway Collection 3 coming out, so that's 3 years on the trot. They brought out multi-region, multi-year, multi-cask collections, and you can still buy some of the first collection and the second collection online at retail price.
Yeah.
So that just kind of tells you that they're not selling them out.
No. And it's very strange because the whiskey is superb. I mean, let's be honest, but Bushmills whiskey should really be the flagship that everything else is sort of held to standard to, because they've got age and provenance and familiarity, and I mean in terms of quality, I defy anybody to tell me that there's a better triple distilled Irish whiskey possible, at the minute, because it's fabulous stuff, but they just don't seem
all the tools and all the stock.
It's just not
an absolute powerhouse for it.
It's just not clicking. It's just not clicking for some reason. It's just not clicking, which is a shame, because as everybody knows, I'm a massive Black Bush fan, and I think it's just I don't know. Maybe there's just mixed signals coming out of the place or whatever.
I think so, and yeah, it's crazy, but I mean, look, it is what it is, and sticking on crazy things that happened, especially with Jameson. So you were probably away as well at the time, but there was a Jameson 15-year-old pure pot still, so it's the old version of the remastered version. That went on a Catawiki, so like an eBay style auction site.
Yeah.
For €1,300. So this was sitting around 450, €500 max, and straight away €1,300, just out of nowhere. And
it's nuts, but it's mental.
It's mental, and the thing is, as we were just talking about there, people see that and they're like, okay, I need to get rid of mine, I need to cash in. It's €1,300. So one came up in the last Irish whiskey auctions, and although it didn't reach the €1,300, it still went 50% above the previous average, and it got €680. So it just goes to show you that the people are still out there. The people are looking at these prices, and they know what the kind of the market value is, or not necessarily market value, but what they've sold for.
Yeah.
And I think people loosen the purse strings a bit more when they've seen something go for that much.
Yeah.
That maybe they wouldn't have done if I hadn't looked at that before.
That's crazy whenever you think about it. I mean, just yeah. But obviously someone was dire need for it for their collection, or two people were in dire need for it for their collection.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we better try and sort out Big JD here. Look at that there. Do you see that there? That is my phone, and I'm on the page, and it says send message in a blue bar below the picture, and it's the same on a desktop or a tablet. It'll say it over to the right hand side. It'll say something like that there, and it's dead easy to send as a message. So it works. If you can't send a message, it means you aren't logged into Facebook.
All right,
I
on
can't.
YouTube.
We have it sorted. We have it sorted.
Have we?
No, I just noted. I went on the Facebook page and Big JJ has sent a message and I responded. So there we go. All is right with the world. We are back in business.
Oh, drink to that.
You might be going to Isla with us, and then I can throw you off the boat. I can throw you off the boat if you can't work your phone.
You might be a big lad, Justin. They might throw you off by your hair. Oh, sorry, no, I'll not do that. You might polish your wee the heat.
So Richie's asking about the Middleton Der Gerlachs and Powers Jones Lane and the Redbreast Cask Strength. Yes, well,
lovely stuff.
Give us a quick rundown of what they've been doing.
Dar Gaelics, they're hot and cold. Sometimes they just like if you get them from the first, second trees, you're grand. Like you'll get a 400 or 500 euro easily for most trees. The likes of the later series, Kyle Begg, Knockrath, the likes of them. It just depends on who's there.
Honestly, they're dead weird. And people sell full collections of them. You sell a full collection, it'll do really well. And then you think, well, you can buy all of those bottles, and if you add them all up, it's a lot cheaper than buying full. So I don't know. Maybe people just don't want the fun of collecting the stuff, and maybe a bit too much money. And then other times they don't do that well. I know exactly what you're saying.
I think the Jones Lee and I actually liked it when we tried it, didn't I? I think it did. Yeah.
Because you're probably full. Justin was out last night and there was free booze on the go. So Justin's got a hangover. That's what Justin has today.
See if Richie has got that one, the John's Lane Cask Strength. So that's that's the Barrel Club one. So that one, John's Lane is quite widely available in Ireland. For about €60. But obviously people who are abroad, they'd be buying on the auction site, so it would push it up a little bit. But the Cask Strength, so the actual box that it came in with all the different samples of the deconstruction tasting, that went for €190, which is a bit low, I thought.
Seems reasonable enough if you're buying it.
It's quite reasonable especially if you're going to drink it.
Yeah, that seems reasonable enough. It doesn't seem pricey at all, really.
Well, I was doing it. I was gonna put it into the slides, but just as a side note, if you did sign up to the Middleton Barrel Club with the view of only selling what you get, which is kind of against the whole process because it's a drinking club.
You're trying to say that the flippers may invade the site and try and take as many bottles to try and flip them as much as possible. I don't believe
There's John Fleming agrees with you. Whiskey Companion John's John Lane's Cask Strength is a dinger. It is indeed. Yeah, yeah. And Richie said saying the same thing as well. Yes, good to have you along, guys. Yeah. What else have we got this week?
Tell me how much I've lost the opening of my gold spot. Much of it pissed away up the wall. Tell me. Go on ahead. Break my heart.
So over the last month, so since July 1st. There's been 72 bottles transacted. So yeah, it's been heavily traded commodity.
What a surprise.
And no surprise at all. And you can see just by the graph there that it is a €200 bottle.
Yeah.
It simply is.
It was 110
€110.
110, so it's basically double this money. Double its
money.
Look, he's contacting Anthony already. Look, Anthony, I've got the bottle. I've got two bottles.
Look, it's doubled already. It's doubled already.
It's breaking. It's like that episode of Star Trek, The Trouble We Troubled. They're everywhere. Bottles of gold spot all over the place.
Another one.
He's going to be on the phone. Anthony, I'll be on down in the morning.
just keep a slot for me. Keep a slot. Yeah, so like, I mean, people have gone mad for it, and it's crazy. There were a couple of stand corrected, 120 retail instead of 110.
I thought it was 120.
Yeah, no, that was my bad. Yeah, people like you get it quite quickly. At the very start, like it didn't sell out instantly, but then once it did sell out, it didn't come back out, and it slowly dripped into the different retail outlets. And at the moment, Irish malts have a ballot going, and once they do a ballot for a whiskey, you know, it's very hot, and well, very hot, but also probably low stock that they've gotten,
right,
which means that it's coming to an end. Like they never actually released how many bottles that they produced for this, because it was worldwide. We thought it was going to be quite a lot. Yeah, so
I mean, it's a very, very drinkable, nice whiskey.
Absolutely.
What ABV is it again? 51.4. But to be honest, if you do get that, definitely a little bit of water does help this. It helps it quite a lot, to be honest.
What's your thought on the colour being gold and it being smack bang in the middle between blue and green?
Well, the age is not the biggest thing. The colour is a bit of a strange one, because I mean it's well, I suppose it's Bordeaux cask for port sherry, bourbon port sherry, and Bordeaux. So it should have a dark colour to it. So I think it's fair enough, really. You know, but
that's fair. And then some other news on the spot front is that there's going to be a Pinot Noir cask also that was approved on the US TTB website just last week. So that will be probably out in the next couple of months. So yeah, then this leads on to this one. So the gold spot 3-piece set, going by the average, €200, €215. You'd think 600, 700 euro maybe.
Yeah.
But apparently the box is worth €900. So a 3-piece set, literally 3 bottles of gold spot.
Yeah.
The retail box, €1,400.
That's what collectors do. You know,
there was no shortage of them in the auction either. Like,
no, that's what collectors do. They want the labels, and they want all the whistles and bells that other people don't have. And that's just that.
Why did they not buy 3?
Why did you know? I mean, you buy 3 and then just see if somebody's going to throw the box away. Just say, "Oh, guess that box." Oh, I did. There you go. There you go. Bango bongo. Suddenly you're €1,500. I know, but that's what people do. You know, the collectors collect stuff. That's what they want.
Yeah.
You know. But,
and then just going back to the other comment that was there. Will they do it again next year? Being a 9-year-old, so it shouldn't be an issue. What's your thoughts on this, Marty? Like,
I don't think so.
135th year anniversary probably doesn't make sense to do a 136th year.
No, so this is. I would imagine that this is a sort of one-off. They might do another version of maybe. They might do something. They might do something in the. I would imagine they probably will do something in the 40th, but I would imagine this is a. Whenever they say it's limited edition, 9-year-old, and stamp. And they've quite categorically stamped the 135th anniversary on the front label twice. It's on the back label once. It's on the bottle. You know, I can't see them doing it again next year. I wouldn't have thought.
They might pull an Ardbeg like they do with their committee releases, where they have one which is the committee release, and then the exact same name. Just it's not a cask strength; it's a 46% or whatever. So maybe they do that and have a gold spot. Just a general gold spot, which is 9-year-old or 10-year-old or whatever, and they have that as a yearly release, like the blue spot.
And release it in a nice box, so everybody. Justin can buy another and put it in and get the box though, and then they make loads of money.
Exactly.
You can see them having having a version of it, but they'll not do it the same. They'll not do it the same. I wouldn't have thought, because they like this as their sort of prestigious thing for their anniversary, which is fair enough. I think it's fair enough. But again, it'd be nice to know roughly numbers, because it sold fairly quickly. But if there was, if there was tens of thousands, probably I don't think they would have sold out just as quick as they did. So I'm going to say there's not that terrible. There's not going to be tens of thousands of bottles of this. When Webb's Irish Malts were doing ballots for bottles, obviously the allocation dropped down. I was in Mitchell's the day they released their last bottles, and I just happened to ask, and I was told that they had a couple of hundred bottles. That was all they had. So if they had held those back, if they had held those back to sell them for that, there's only a few hundred bottles of it. So I would say there's probably not that many of those,
No, definitely.
In the grand scheme of things. But until you find out, until you know, you don't know. No, that sounds sort of a bit of an obvious statement, but until you know, you don't know,
Exactly. But yeah, so like as I was saying, the sets there, that was mad. So it kind of leads on to the next bit, which is another set that sold. And I mean, I picked this set specifically because it's Redbreast, and Dream Cask. Dream Cask usually does quite well just after the release of the latest version, which was in April or May. But it's, I don't know, like back when you were following these closely, Martin, sets never really seemed to do as good or in line with what you would get if you just sell them individually.
Yeah.
The last couple of sets that have come up, whether it be Redbreast, the likes of the Gold Spot that happened there, a Dingle Cask Strength single malt set came up, they've all outperformed individual bottle sales.
Right.
Which is very strange. And it was the same with Writer's Tears as well, Cask Strength, and the Redbreast one as well, the Redbreast single casks. So this particular one, the Dream Cask, the full set sold for €8,200. The average price over the last 3 months was €7,200. With the lowest price you'd be able to get them, so you could buy them in one auction, €6,900. The top price being €8,150. But the full set, still more than if you were very unlucky and happened to get them at the top price in each auction.
But see, it's
hard to work out, isn't it?
It's hard to know, because there's some people really love doing the collecting, but they love. And it's not,
they love the hunt.
It's not everybody that's just got £8 lying about them just to dump down on a thing. But the one thing I have noticed is that the original Dream Casks have started to dry up. I mean, it used to be there was maybe 2-3 at every auction for sale, and I did notice that at a couple of the last auctions there hasn't been any for sale.
I'll tell you now. So in August there was one.
Yeah.
In July there was two. Then you have to go back to May for one. April 1, March 1.
But before,
in the last year, since the start of the year, there was 10.
And whenever if you look back a year ago, there was an awful lot more of them being traded. There was 2-3 pretty much at the auction at that point.
So 2021 there was 24 of them, and 2020 was 35 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gone down and down. So either people are holding on to them, which is the most likely case, or people are drinking them. I mean, the likes of Paul in Belfast Whisky Week, he's killed 2 in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I know. But it'd be nice to know how many of them he still has,
Yeah, true.
But no, as I say,
there's a good insight there from James. Is it newer collectors late to the game and wanting to buy a set in one hit, so a lagging indicator, whereas the individual bottlers is a leading indicator? Could be.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like there's people that are just trying to get into whiskey collecting, but not just whiskey collecting. There's a lot of Scotch whiskey collectors that are trying to get into the Irish whiskey collection scene. And I think it's a shortcut.
And I mean, there's a
suppose.
lot of guys over the last 2 years have made an awful lot of money out of it. An awful lot of money out of it, as you know.
Absolutely.
And they do have quite a lot to throw in the other alternative stuff to invest. So who knows? I mean, it's really hard to read because one week something's doing this and the next week it's doing that. But
it goes back to what John was saying there. It depends on who's online at the time and who's looking and who has the money.
And how much of their own supply they've had before they start bidding. Because I think we've all probably been victim of that, where you're going, I spent that much on that. Hitting the bid button because you go, I'm going to beat that. Whoever it is out there, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you, man. You feel like Rocky and everything, and then after you feel like somebody has punched the head off you.
Oh, stop! I know.
We've all done it.
We have, but look, that's it.
Well, thank you very much, Carl. Very nice roundup, my friend. It's been great to see you. It's been a wee while since we actually got talking to you, but just with everything that's been going on with work actually opening up again, we've had.
We'll better give these a mention. Are you going to any whiskey festivals, Carl? Then are you?
So I was actually at Whisky Live. That was in June. I tried to get up to Belfast, but I was actually in London the week before, so I couldn't get the time off work.
and you missed wonderful tours.
I know. I was
wondering about Ryan.
I was half tempted.
And you missed
just calling
lovely burgers.
Oh, I just got all the lovely burgers. I was dead fast. If you'd have seen his wee face whenever he didn't think he was getting a burger, see, whenever he didn't think he was getting a burger, and I said in pictures of me like this here, he was. People don't appreciate this. He was absolutely raging. He was as thick as tar. He was. It looks absolutely delicious.
You can go on and check the pictures. The pictures are on the YouTube channel. So there you go.
Yeah, funny. No, this is Cork Whisky Festival, right? Laurie O'Dwyer from Whisky Chats. Lovely guy.
Yes, yeah.
A really, really nice guy. Really nice guy. Doing this. So 24th to the 26th of March next year. But before that, we have down in Dublin. Bring up the other graphic, Justin. Bring up the website.
That's it?
No. Remember sent you
you want Whiskey Fest?
Do you remember I sent you the website?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, it's on screen.
Irish Whisky Festival. Bring up the actual page.
Oh, okay. Okay. Just tick 2 ticks here. Have to log back in again. Copy link.
I actually sent you, by the way, I sent you the right smoker sidecar Ducati, whenever your man has the thing finished, not the one that we actually
right. Here we go. Hold on to find it. I've got it. So
bring up the webpage for Irish Whisky Festival.
That's it.
To bring up the full page.
There we go.
So scroll down, 17th to the 23rd. So there will be lots and lots and lots of people there, including us. We're going to be down there at some point. And we'll be coming down. So you can buy your tickets, are on sale now. You can do a VIP, early entry, complimentary show bottling, access to VIP lounge, you get a VIP lanyard, etc., etc., etc. Sergio will be there, front row centre, I would assume, from the Irish Whisky magazine. So yeah, it will be down at some point to do our thing. So it's the 17th to 23rd. And get your tickets now. It should be a bit of a laugh.
Yes, it is a laugh because we've been at we were at Alloa at their Clackmanaster Whisky Festival. That was fantastic, and obviously nothing like home turf. Belfast Whisky was fantastic. This will be superb, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of whisky festivals, and they all have their own sort of character and their own sort of stick on the whole thing and trying to get people on board and doing whatnot. So yeah, it's just a nice thing to get involved with, and especially if you're going out for a day or whatever. And to be fair, they're normally really good value for money because you get to go down, sample lots of whiskies, talk to people, take a couple of mates down, girlfriends if you're girls going down, if you're taking your boyfriend down with you, whatever, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, go down and normally the ticket prices, the guys who are there, you can have a laugh and a giggle with them and a bit more information and knowledge. So they are worth going to see, and they all kind of have their own personality to them. So nice to see the two of them up and run. Irish Whiskey Festival, obviously this October, and then Laurie's doing his in March down in Cork, which obviously is a little
couple of excellent dates for the diary there. Excellent dates for the diary. So yeah, and the way hotel prices are going these days, you want to book early, book very, very, very early, or buy a tent and sleep out on some Stephen's Green. Don't do that. The guards will lift you.
Aye, that's, but no, seriously, do pop your head. If you've never been to a whiskey festival, and I know lots of people haven't really done that kind of thing, they're not full of whiskey nerds talking crap about malolactic fermentations. It was a malolactic fermentation that's giving you your milky nose. It's none of that. It's just people having a bit of a laugh and getting drunk. As how some of them are. If you want to do a bit more of the serious stuff, there's like high premium tastings and all that kind of stuff. But you can pick and choose. That's normally what you're able to do. So yeah, get yourself over and see those. So 2 dates for you.
Excellent stuff. Great show tonight, as usual. Remember, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, and Telegram. And hit us up. Check us out. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram as well. So if you want to find out more about the Whiskey Companion, it's dead easy to find it. Just Google Card and the Whiskey Companion. And the festival details are down below. Dead easy to find. Mark Kerr, we'll see you soon. We'll see you on the 1st of October for the catamaran ride to
boat on the way to Isla. Please let the weather be good.
Right.
Please let the weather be good. I bet you can't come up, Carlos. I bet you can't come up and see us.
I know. It would be lovely.
It's a good day out. It is a good day out. I'm going to have another gold spot because that is chuff and lovely. So, yeah,
I know.
Drinking away.
I'm gonna go and search for somebody that's selling the box. All right.
If you happen to have a box, the 3-box presentation, should you see Justice V head going like that over the top of your window, best lock your windows. Just lock the doors.
Right. Night.
See you later, guys. Take care, guys. Take care.
Night.